want to welcome everybody here today, and I want to congratulate the 8th grade students, your parents, the families, and teachers. As always, students have grown so much physically, academically, socially, and emotionally. It's so hard to remember this group as little 6th graders 3 short years ago. As always, I'm flooded with emotion and memories. Here are just a few of many things that come to mind, and then we'll move on to the ceremony. But I want to share a couple sentiments about this group of young adults. Puin, growing 3 meters. Okay, an exaggeration, but it feels like it in 3 years. Chang Noi, spending 50% of the time on the floor, in the corridor, and the courtyard. Maddie and her lightning speeds in the pool. Net and his amazing musical talents. Aaron and Luke Chan's incredible short stories and illustrations. I want to read their first publication, their professional one, because they have several already. The never-ending crew of sweaty boys coming in the very last second from the football pitch or basketball. Poom, Ping Ping, Ed, Euro, Pat, Julio, Rax, Ruxit, Tan, etc. And me constantly chasing after you going, go please wash your face. Shannon has awesome dance moves when he figures out something in the math class. Nung Pai and Prize never-ending debates in front of their lockers. Rocky and Eaton's shoe competition, which ended up with saran wrap to avoid the dirt and the scuffles. Anthony and his fidget spinner business, Tata's talent, her debates, and on the dance floor. Kayla and Kat for their ever-present smile. Grace numerously putting the boys in their place on the basketball court. Scott's amazing creations in the makerspace, most which got confiscated by Mr. Saeed later in the day. No pear butter slowly waltzing to class, or quickly putting away their phones when I walked up saying, oh no, we're reading, Miss Gretchen, we're reading, I promise. Tan in her blanket, and Amal, Sora, and Pin for their genuine smile and their wave like this to me every single day. I could go on forever, but I'll stop there. Rising 8th graders, I want to share with you today some sentiments from a recent article that I read in New York Times. It drew my attention immediately because the title was Hands to Heads to Hearts. Certainly that title captured me, so I had to read on. The overall gist was talking about the technological revolution of the 21st century is like the scientific revolution that you guys studied this year, remember? What it was talking about is it's forcing society to think about what it means to be a human in these high-tech times. We've got smart cars, we have boxes that are literally dropped off at our homes. So if machines are that smart, what's so unique and what makes us human? In short, the major difference is these machines will never have a heart like humans do. A quote from the article that really drew my attention is, machines can be programmed to do the next right thing, but only humans can do the next right thing. Now think about that. The next right thing. You're at an important juncture in your life, moving on to high school. You're here at RAS, an institution that truly values your head, your hands, and your heart. So in everything you do, think about how you can do the next right thing. Our compassion, empathy, and kindness, our love, is what makes us human. These are the qualities that allow us to do the next right thing. When you follow your heart, your future will be filled with positive relationships, personal fulfillment, and endless opportunities. To all of you soon-to-be 9th graders, I'm so proud of your accomplishment, but what I'm really proud of for this class is your positivity, your compassion, and your kindness. I know each and every one of you will do the next right thing. So before the ceremony starts, I would just really want to congratulate you on all your accomplishments in the middle school. Thank you.
Grace is going to be our first speaker today. Good morning, parents, teachers, and students. My name is Grace, and I will be talking about my experience in middle school. So first of all, the train of thought. We all have different ones. For me, my train of thought functions at odd times. 25% of the time in class, and 75% of the time right before sleep. My thoughts are really random, and I usually think about things that happened months ago. Recently, lying in bed all comfortable and ready to sleep, my mind suddenly jumped back to a math test on area and volumes. I remembered that the area of a circle is measured in pi r squared, and that volume is measured in units cubed. Good, I thought. I can now go to sleep in peace. But then my mind wandered off to other impossible measurements, and I started thinking about how do we measure time in general, and our time in middle school in particular. I realized a few hours into that train of thought that the past 3 years that we, 8th graders, spent in middle school are measured in the memories we made. It is unbelievable how much laughter we had, how much change we underwent, and how many tests we studied for last minute. Middle school was a great time where I, and I'm sure that others as well, got to try new things and explore the unknown. We learned to appreciate sleep even more, and we learned to dread written tests. One might say that we can measure time by the number of tests you had, but I think we can do better than that. My experience in middle school was a life and personality-changing event for me. I used to sit at the library reading books during break time. Now I find myself converting sunlight into vitamin D out on the basketball court. I know that by heart since we recently had a biology test. Yes, and strictly speaking, I matured a lot academically, and it was all thanks to the teachers. Some, who I won't mention by name, have been strict and intimidating, while others were friendly and made the funniest chicken dance. So, we can measure our time in middle school by our academic growth, as well as by the number of people we encountered. Throughout these 3 years, I made many more friends than the few I had in elementary. I used to stay inside my little bubble. I was scared of leaving my comfort zone. But for whatever reason, middle school turned me into a social person who likes to meet new people whenever given the chance. Whether they'll be upper or underclassmen, people who I met through sports or at service conferences. I know that you, like me, can measure your time with the number of friends you made. Overall, I can't only choose to mention a couple of memories out of all the 540 memories created each day these 3 past years. The years, the people, friends and teachers, we all have great memories together, and you make middle school unique. Without you, middle school would just be a repeat of waking up in the morning, making it to class at 7:10, leaving school at 3, and going back home for at least 2 more hours of homework. It'll just be a series of numbers representing a dull time that passes by. Well, I can assure you that middle school was everything but dull. So, going back to the same question, how do we measure time? To me, the significance of my middle school years can easily be measured by the smiles, the tests, the friends that I love so much, and the memories that I shared with you all. And for all of that, I sincerely and wholeheartedly thank you for making my middle school years the best they can be. Thank you.
Good morning. I will make it quick, as Ms. Gretchen will ask me. Dear parents, students, fellow colleagues, and guests, I'm standing in front of you to give an award for the best academic student in values. Indeed, the student that I'm going to applaud on stage is not the best academic student. Oops. It is the most improved, the one that showed the best growth during this quarter and this semester. I'm being very pleased by his reasoning skill, debating skill, and his ability to show empathy for the world and for the society. If you continue like this in this trajectory, this student will be a great leader with his caring attitude. It's my deepest pleasure to call on stage Tom.
It was so incredibly difficult to make this decision. I have so many incredible students. You saw some of them on the stage earlier today. And these students, especially being an 8th grade band, it's entirely possible as a new teacher to get a lot of, that's not how it used to be done before. I got none of that from any of these students, and that was wonderful. And their leadership in helping make the bands to be the best it can be was just outstanding across the board. The student who is receiving this award is a quiet leader who is not going to be the most outspoken about the right thing to do. But whenever I look over, he is always doing the right thing. He asks amazing questions, really pushes himself to become a better musician, and has worked extremely hard this year. It is my pleasure to give the band award to Pole.
Good morning. This student, I had the pleasure for the choir award. This student, I had the extreme pleasure of first meeting last year during Legally Blonde, where she had a featured role. She greeted me every day with a hug and still comes to my classroom saying, "I want to be in choir." And I say, "Next year, next year." So it's almost next year, Pride, and I expect to have you in choir. So I am happy to award Pride.
Sawadee Kap. Everybody, happy day. How was everybody doing? Class, how you all doing? Good? Excited? You all look wonderful, beautiful. Henri Matisse from France. Okay, great. I'm going to pronounce his name correctly, yeah? Henri Matisse said creativity takes courage. And there's a lot of courageous 8th graders here and very talented artists. How to choose one? I have like 8 to choose from. So this goes to one of the best, the most ambitious, maybe one of the most creative students to receive this award. Goes to Nayala Noon. Come on up, please. Well done.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Miss Caitlin. I am here on behalf of Ms. Shorna and myself. Ms. Shorna has been out on maternity leave, and I have had the honor to take her place for the last 8 weeks. And we talked very deeply about who would get this award for drama for the 8th grade class. And this particular person is a natural leader. One of the important things about leading in drama that people don't really think about is the importance of listening. Drama is all about creating as a group. Even though you do get on a stage and you get to show your stuff, if you don't have the cohesion of a group, it's all lost and you don't send your message out. This goes to a particularly talented woman who was always listening to her peers and always processing the creative ideas to make a cohesive whole in all of our groups. The Drama Award this year goes to Tet Mom.
Good morning. I have the honor to present this reward to my special class since in grade school, and it's a privilege for me to teach them this year. And there are so many outstanding students in this class, and I couldn't choose one, but I have to. And so this person, this student is outstanding in many ways, in setting good examples and always be smiling and have work on time, and it's So I would like to present this reward to Ria.
Nice to see you all. I've had the pleasure of teaching some of you for 3 consecutive years. Some of you, for the most part, I think that I have had some type of interaction, whether it's in the health room or on sports teams. A very active grade 8 group, definitely, in a number of ways, which made this decision difficult. We had a lot of athletes in terms of both males and females, and trying to narrow it down to just one is, as it's been echoed before, a very difficult task. Starting off with the ladies first. This lady has performed very well, both on and off the field, as well as in the swimming pool. She continues to bring excellence into the PE classroom. Leadership is, and the hard work and dedication that she has to becoming better is very admirable, and that goes to Miss Maddie. Moving on to the boys. This boy I have had the pleasure of having in my PE class for the past 3 years. And seeing him grow and develop not only as an athlete but as a person, I'm continually astounded by the growth and maturity of this young man, and that is Mr. Boom.
Welcome, friends and family members to RAS, and welcome back to our fabulous students, teachers, and administrators. I'm honored to be giving the Technology and Design Award for 2017. This award is earned by the student who has shown growth, determination, a practice of making and sharing his or her creations and ideas, and studying hard at and away from school in the practice of technology and design. I'd like to quote a designer, Milton Glaser, famous for the I Heart New York design. Quote, "There are 3 responses to a piece of design: yes, no, and wow. Wow is the one to aim for," end quote. My advice to you all on this special day is to live your life's projects with the aim of wow. This year's Technology and Design Award goes to JJ Jetsa Dapat Tipat. She's not here to accept the award, but I will make sure she gets it.
We're all moving on and moving ahead, taking a new route in life. But we won't leave our memories behind. We'll push them into the suitcase of memories that we carry everywhere. Yes, it's a scary experience, but it's an exciting one too. Trying anything new is like going on a roller coaster. In our case, we're all riding High School Express, and we've just bought the tickets. Together, we will start and hopefully finish this ride. Stage 1, getting into the car and waiting for the conductor to flick the switch. Heart pounding, scared but filled with anticipation and excitement. Then we move on to stage 2. The roller coaster starts rising in a slow but steady slope. And just when you're getting used to the incline, it drops and leaves your heart and stomach up in the sky. This is stage 3, where the coaster twists and turns and does 3 loops in a row. And let's call them IB Physics, AP Chemistry, and Extended Essay. Slowly, the fear you had in the start vanishes. But just at that moment, the coaster stops. Stage 4, you reach the end of the ride before you even know it. Right now, we're all at stage 1. We don't know what twists and turns lay ahead of us. Excited about the new opportunities, but nervous about the decisions we need to make and the many choices we have. And let's be honest, terrified of all the homework that's coming our way. But we have the tickets and we've fastened our seatbelts. There's no turning back now. Then we start getting used to 9th grade. That's when the first of many curves take our breath away. By 10th and 11th grade, we get used to the ride and welcome the other curves, dips, highs, and lows. And just as we're about to celebrate, we're done with 12th grade. So, along with all the loops, High School Express will also be filled with moments of pure joy. And it's our job to make sure we make those moments count. We were nervous when we moved from elementary to middle school, and now we're moving to high school. In our lives, we've ridden 2 out of the 3 main attractions. So, during the twists and turns of this 3rd ride, we have to make sure that none of us falls, and all of us are on track. We have so much to look forward to. Joining clubs, taking part in new activities, getting to meet new people, having more electives to choose from, having more independence, and most importantly, whenever anyone asks you what grade you're in, be able to say that you're a freshman. We gained a new title that makes us seem just a little more mature. Of course, with the given independence comes responsibility. The responsibility to take care of yourself and make sure that you go in the right direction. Most importantly, we have to make sure that we do not procrastinate anymore. Don't be shaking your heads. I know all of us have done it one way or another. But 2 of our most important responsibilities are the following. We need to take care of each other, always have each other's back, and we need to forge our own paths. So, together we sit in this roller coaster, High School Express. We will go through all the different stages, and I'm sure when we leave, our camera rolls will be filled with the memories that we will treasure forever. One more thing. As we wait in line with our tickets in our hand, all I have to say is, high school, you better watch out. The class of 2021 is coming your way.
Sawasdee. It is my great pleasure to share with all of you here about my 8th grade students. There are many students who have been outstanding, a highly commendable perform in Thai language and culture class. They show their enthusiasm for learning and doing activities, the effective time management, and organized skills. I'm so proud of all of you, my dear students. Certainly, this is the most difficult time for me to choose just one student and announce the name today. The student I would like to recognize is a very quiet student. Doesn't speak much. She always sits at the back and seldom spoke to me. She has quite interesting character. With a quietness and polite personality, I saw the hidden abilities of hers. She worked hard and always keen to take part and get involved in any activities and assignments given. The quality of her works have been excellent. She has become a role model student for her classmates and a very responsibility student of mine. Very impressive. The awards go to Sorarat.
Fathers, administrators, teachers, dear parents, and my beloved student. This is my 4th time of having such a privilege to be standing here and speaking to you at the PAC. They say people remember the first and forget the rest. But I believe these 3 years have been a journey, and you will take many memories with you. I have thought about this day so many times. I could have memorized every imagined scene, but not even the best of my imagined scene could compare to the real scene I am greeted with right now. I personally don't like saying goodbye, but I have to. Good luck, and I wish you all the best, my students. Talking about an outstanding student. This student had joined my class 2 years ago, from the first day till now. I have seen a lot of good qualities in him. He has been improving a lot. He has been developing his Thai language skills and has become one of the most responsible students of mine. The award goes to Chin.
你好，大家好。Mandarin class， 老师今天漂亮吗？因为你们今天都很漂亮，很帅，所以老师也要特别漂亮。First of all, I would like to thank all of you for being such wonderful kids in my Mandarin classes. And I'm really happy with your improvements and achievements in Mandarin. Yes, Mandarin is one of the most difficult languages, but you all have done an outstanding job. 老师爱你们。It's always a tough job to make a decision for the outstanding award, because many of you can earn this through your hard work and progress. I looked through each student's performance for the past 3 years with me, and I only can select one. This student is very diligent and has consistently performed outstanding skills in the Mandarin study since grade 6. With the efforts she had in middle school, I believe she will be very successful in her Mandarin learning in the future. This award goes to Hannah.
I'm back, sorry. And I hate speaking in public. A few words with my students, first for my students. Pour mes élèves de français, travaillez bien au lycée, étudiez bien et venez me rendre visite. Je vous aime. Sorry for breaking the rule, Ms. Gretchen, and speaking in French. The student that I'm going to call on stage is an exemplar, and studying a language is difficult. Mandarin is most likely the most difficult, and French is maybe the second one. You need a lot of dedication, perseverance, and a lot of practice. And this student gave me all and beyond. Most of my students started in 6th grade, but the student I'm going to call today started in grade 7. She has been with me for the last 2 years. Her work is unpackable. She flourished within these 2 years. She's becoming fluent in the language. She exceeded all my expectations and even more. I'm very pleased to call her on stage. I'm very sad because she's going to leave us. She's going to Saudi Arabia. It's my deepest pleasure to come on stage. Amal.
Hola, buenos días, Spanish Award, El Premio de Español. I'm very proud of this 8th grade Spanish class. I've already given my teary-eyed speech, so this one we'll keep it together in class. 3 years together, from 6th grade on. You know who the 13 jalapenos are. Can you put your hands up, Spanish class, please? Okay, this class is the best class that's ever gone into high school with their level. Just to talk about a few tenses that they grasp and that they understand in this vast lexicon of Espanol. And it's not that easy, by the way. Present tense, past tense, future tense, conditional tense, preterite tense, they've got that. Imperfect tense, continual action in the past, check. Past participle, and the gerundio, aka the present progressive. Well done, guys. I think its name is Mr. Moon, Senor Luna, the new teacher, Spanish teacher, but really excited. Stick together as in level 3, and you'll have great success. Very proud to present this award a mi amigo, Don Julio. Come on up. Yeah. Oh, you look so handsome. Konnichiwa. Ohayo gozaimasu. Hi! Susumu, our amazing department head for modern language, Susumu was not able to make it, so I'm pleased to present the Japanese award, as it's another language that I will learn in a few years. I love Japanese language. He said he had an excellent class. It was fun to see the middle schoolers go over there and journey back. So, supremely awarded to and well earned. Jira, come on up.
Next we have your next year's principal. Be very, very nice. He is very, very nice though. Okay, Mr. Van, please.
Thank you, Mr. Saeed. I'm here to welcome you to the high school, and I'm very excited to do so. Thank you, Dia. I've been warned by the class of 2021. You told me a little bit about this great group. And welcoming you to high school, I think about my first introduction to high school, and I want to tell you just a little bit about that. I grew up in a wonderful, beautiful neighborhood in kind of a river ravine valley with small streets. And the buses couldn't go to all the homes. So there was a circle, we called it the turnaround, where the high school bus would come, and then the elementary bus, and we would walk down to the bus stop, and it was near a river, and there were trees everywhere, and we loved to get there early in elementary school so we could play. We had forts we were building, and we would skip stones in the stream, all sorts of fun things. So with my friend Nathan one morning, we walked down the trail to go to the bus stop, to get there nice and early. I don't know what plans we had, because whatever they were, they disappeared when I turned the corner, and it's the 100-meter stretch to where the bus was. There was the bus. And I just took off in a sprint. All I could think about is, I can't be late for school, I can't be late for school. My friend stopped, he didn't care, he could be late for school. Turns out he just knew better than me, because I sprinted onto that bus, and I went up the stairs, and I looked down the aisle, and all I could see were knees of giants, these huge people in the high school bus that I had accidentally run onto as an elementary school student. And I turned around, and I heard laughter from the high school students, and I jumped down the first step, and I leaped out the door as it snapped closed behind me. The engine roared up, and the high school bus drove off. And I thought, I'm never, ever going to high school. Never gonna happen. It can be a little bit scary. It's different. When you're coming to high school, you have to start thinking about things like moving between classes at longer distances, wondering how in the world are you going to make it to nearly 1 o'clock without lunch. Things like grades and GPAs, and even the F word, finals. Some challenging things that are happening. But I want you to remember that things work out. I did go to high school. And I got over that experience of the bus and had a wonderful, wonderful experience. And it's not all about those changes. Your success in high school is really about people. It's about the experiences you have with people. That's what education and learning is really all about. So I want you to remember, as has been mentioned by some of your classmates earlier, a lot of your success is going to depend on each other. Helping each other out as classmates, and friends, as people. Your parents are also people. Mom and dad care about you. And in high school, you should continue to listen to them and take their advice. And your teachers are people too. They love and care about you. And remember, when you get to high school, to talk with your teachers. Let them know when you need some help. Let them know when you're excited about something. And as people that care about each other, we are going to help you have a wonderful high school experience. Your middle school teachers are caring people too. You may see a few tears today. If they're tears of joy, it's because they're excited for you, not excited for you to leave. There will certainly be more tears of sadness, I think, because you are leaving. They've had wonderful experiences with you, but your turn is over. We get them now. Class of 2021, welcome to high school. Thank you.
And now for the core subject awards.
Good morning, everyone. I've had the immense pleasure this year
work with some of the strongest math students I have ever had in my career. You guys are some of the most hardworking and tenacious students, and one of my favorite things this year has been giving you something that might be a little bit too hard at first, but seeing everyone sitting, working together with their partners to bring all the knowledge together and go even further. There are two students that I would like to acknowledge this morning. The first one, I think, could work for hours on his own because he just really wants to figure out whatever challenge is put in front of him. And when he does, he is so happy to share that with everyone else around him. He works so well together, and he is one of the best mathematical communicators that I have worked with. So F, I would like to thank you for this math. And for the second award, I think this person is going to be a little bit surprised, but he embodies some of the strongest mathematical practices and always insists that he understands what is going on for everything. He always asks those why questions that make me work a little harder as a teacher. And so many times during the lesson, he's called me over afterwards and he says, "Miss Emery, but why? Why does it work this way?" And he always insists to understand and make those connections. So for that reason, I would like to call Kino up for the second.
Thank you. I want to extend a warm welcome to parents, because I think this is your day as much as it is for us and for all these lovely students in front of us. It is special because it is a time when you see your wonderful teenagers growing into mature young adults and moving to high school and doing such wonderful things. And I think I mentioned this before in my classes, parents, you make all the difference in your child's life. And so today is a special, special day for you. I get to present science awards to two students, very hardworking, and I think they get the science behind the science. And that is a very, very special quality. And I'm absolutely proud of every single one of you. And I hope to see people doing pure sciences in the high school. Where's Mr. Dan? I think he's gone. I think we can promise some really great scientific minds that are moving to high school. The first award that I'd like to give is for this wonderful young lady who has immense interest in science and asking questions, and I just love that quality, Calla. Next student I'm going to give this award to is one of the most peaceful and calm human beings. Science can be a bit challenging at times, and I'm not always the most patient of teachers when it comes to quality of work, but I look at this student and he is calm, peaceful, asks questions, participates, and knows his science. I mean, that's an incredible quality for an 8th grade student. T, come on up here.
Good morning. I'm Miss Christie. I work with our English language learners in 8th grade, and that gives me the privilege of spending almost every core class with my students. So I get to know them really, really well throughout the year. That's really one of my favorite parts of my job here at Bernardine. This year I had a really great group of students, and I'm saw so much improvement. That's one of my other favorite things about working with the language learners. They just grow so much during the year. The student that I've selected for this award has really, in the last couple months especially, intentionally put so much effort into all of her classes, really working to understand, really working to learn, really wanting to know, why is it this way? Why should I write this like this, but not like this? I saw it in a book like this. Why did they do it that way? And it's really inspired me to give her this award today. For language arts in my class, I'd like to give this to Ohm.
Good morning. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Miss Maria, and I've had the privilege of teaching 8th grade humanities to the class of 2021. Today I have the honor of giving out 2 awards, one for language arts and one for social studies. The first award is for language arts, and this award goes to a student who's always inquisitive when we're discussing literature. She's always insightful when we're analyzing character traits, and I sincerely hope that her dream of becoming a literature professor comes true. This Language Arts Award goes to Shivanshi. Okay, and for my second award, the Social Studies Award, the winner of this award is a delightful young man who's always engaged in the material. From the scientific revolution to the industrial revolution, he's always shown a keen interest in understanding the subject. The Social Studies Award goes to Iterad.
Hello again. We did a little something this year in language arts that we've been trying to do for the past couple of years, and we asked our students to read, and we asked our students to just keep track of all of their reading, and then when we did this little competition, we emailed each other and we said, how many books did your students read? The numbers that came out were in the hundreds, and several of the students in this class actually carried the class. They always had a book with them. They always walked around with that book. And they were always reading, they were always sharing. But one of my students, who was quite quiet in class, the quality of her work and the quality of her willingness to go back and look and revise and bring back the essays done even better, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for her. But this year's Language Arts Award in my class goes to Annie. The second award that I get to give is in social studies class, and again, it's going to be a little bit of a surprise for this young man. This is a class where students, on their own, would show up reading books like Freakonomics. They would, anytime I asked a question, I had a whole group of them trying to answer, and it was always very interesting in this class how much information they knew about the world. But this young man, what difference led to him getting this award is the fact that he was never happy with an assignment until it was perfect. So he would go home, he would work on the assignment, he'll come back, he will show it to me, and he always pushed himself a lot. So this award goes to Sant.
My name is Miss Caitlin, and this year I'm the middle school counselor, but I had the privilege of teaching these young students values for 2 years. You guys are very special to me. I have to see you for all 3 of my years here at Rumity. And so I'd like to read you a poem that my mom gave to me when I left for college. But I thought about this last year when I stood at the 8th grade graduation for our previous class, and I thought, oh, next year, I'll have seen those students for 3 years, and that poem that hangs in my office, that applies to them. So I'd like to read it to you on behalf of the staff and the teachers here at the middle school. It's called My Hands, and it's by Marianne Redbucker. May I tell you the intensity, the excruciating joy of participating in your life and watching you grow. You are our favorite song. On our life's list of accomplishments, you are the finest. Accompanying you to this place, going to high school, has been our sweetest journey. You have been the vast question for which all of our endeavors have been the answer. As you travel to a place which shall be your new home, the high school, our hands meet in applause and clasp in prayer. Our hands wave on and remain open, an invitation to return freely to this place where you learn to fly. So you can always come back to the middle school, whether by walking or sending messages to any of us. So I'm very honored to give an award today for Student Council. This award is for a student who has shown leadership and initiative on behalf of the whole student body. The student exemplifies our habits of mind. They are responsible, respectful, a good communicator, reflective, and organized. This student is all of these things and more. Technically, this student's a rookie or a beginner in middle school council. At the beginning of the year, this student joined MSC, but they decided, why not run for office? When I heard her speak during elections, I knew that she was a natural leader. And as the year went on, she continued to impress me with her ideas and her confidence, but most of all, her kindness towards others. In January, the student attended the Service conference that Grace spoke about in her speech. This is a collaborative of all international schools in Bangkok and some from Phuket and Singapore, places farther away where it's all student-led. Students can present their ideas. The big thing, though, is that it's mostly high schoolers. This student presented her own session to a room full of 25 plus high schoolers. And though they all towered over her in size, she was not intimidated. The room was engaged and lively for over 40 minutes. I'm confident that she'll go on to lead others in high school and beyond with her humor, kindness, and wit. And it is with great pride that I give the award for Student Council this year to Samita Nongpai.
Know me even a little bit, you will know that I have a very special relationship with pizza. My students already know that. Maddie got me pizza coasters, for something to use around the house. Now I want you to imagine a little bit of a trick that somebody can play. Let's say that all of your teachers are like me, they love pizza, and then they get them a box, and in that box there's one slice of every kind of pizza that they like. I'm comparing you to food because that's how much I love you. We get in and we start arguing. No, I want this slice. No, I want this slice. No, this slice did so well in my class. And that was the whole conversation that we had when we all sat down trying to figure out who gets certain awards in our classes, because so many of you are fantastic. So we came up last year, or the year before, Ms. Gretchen suggested in her wisdom, why don't we go with a top scholar or distinguished scholar or an award like that? We decided distinguished scholars are students who have received or who needed to receive more than 2 awards in their classes because they were doing so well in a lot of classes. I have been tasked this year with giving this. Now, I'm not afraid of public speaking like Monsieur Olivier, but I hate cameras. Again, another indication of how much I love you, I'm going to be standing there and giving a bunch of these awards. The first award goes to a student that unanimously teachers think is doing a phenomenal job, and we know that she is going to be an excellent ambassador for us in high school. Tata. second award, the second Distinguished Scholar Award, goes to a young man who has shown excellent everything. I'm not going to be able to put him in one corner and say, this is what he did well. He did well inside the classroom, outside the classroom. And he brings us so much joy, and we know we can put him anywhere and he will work. And if you've ever seen him on the field, you also know that he can do phenomenal tricks playing soccer. The second award goes to Ping Ping. This young man was not in my class, but the second his name came up, a whole bunch of teachers said definitely. And here's the weird thing, I also said definitely, because I have noticed him outside, I've noticed his interactions. He brings us great joy, and we're very proud to give this award to Nathan. Our last Distinguished Scholar Award goes to a young lady who, when she came to me with her speech, she added a little pun specifically for Shin so that he can be very happy where he is sitting right there. This award goes to Dia. Three awards left, and Father David is going to help us with the first one.
Good morning, everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Father David. I've been working here in the school for a year, and I'm really pleased to give this Citizenship Award this morning on behalf of Father Travis. The 8th grade has decided to name its Citizenship Award in honor of Father Leo Travis. Father Travis first came to Thailand in 1956. He worked with the poor people in the Northeast. He spent years in health helping the sick, the poor, and the disadvantaged before being called to service in Bangkok in 1962. Ever since, Father Travis has dedicated his time to develop the Redemptor's mission in Bangkok and service at RS community. He is well known around campus for his dedication to our students, and we believe that he exemplifies the type of citizen that RS strives to create. This year, Father Travis Citizenship Award is going to be awarded to a student who served her community both at RS and beyond. She's an open-minded global citizen, imbued with her self-esteem, self-discipline, and a sense of social responsibility. The student embodies our school's vision of friendship and collaboration. Of many accomplishments under the belt, we mentioned co-creating the Rising Coffee name and serving as a founding member of the committee to empower local Thai farmers, planning the UNSCR Bake Sale fundraiser for refugees, participating in the Bangkok Service Conference for 2 years straight as a middle schooler. Despite the fact that this is mainly a high school conference, for her commitment and compassion, and for constantly reaching out and looking for ways to improve our school community and serve those in need, this award is presented to Manchemon of Bonao.
To present is the Leadership Award. Everyone who was privileged enough to know Father Tom Griffith knows that he was the man who made Rurumudi International School possible. The school was built due to Father Griffith's leadership and tireless devotion to the Redemptorist mission in Thailand. Father Griffith first came to Thailand in 1954, serving in the Northeast but he soon found his calling in education. Father Griffith envisioned RES as more than a small parish school. Under his leadership, RES moved to our present campus, and he developed it into one of the best schools in Asia. For that, we honor Father Griffith with the Father Tom Griffith Leadership Award. This year's winner of the Father Tom Griffith Leadership Award is a student who exemplifies the qualities of leadership and encourages others to achieve their very best. This 8th grader is a kind and thoughtful leader who does not seek the spotlight, but is very good at making sure that all necessary tasks get completed. In the spirit of good leadership, the student listens to peers and is willing to learn from them and take their advice. This leader's tremendous initiative and enthusiasm truly stands out among her peers. Whether it's through starting her own small company and presenting her business model at a breakout session at the Bangkok Service Conference in January, or her willingness to assist whenever there is need. It is my pleasure to present this year's Leadership Award. And because I respect this young woman so much, I'm not going to mispronounce her name, and I'm going to use your nickname. Miss Bell, can you come to the stage?
And good morning. Welcome, families, colleagues, and congratulations to the 8th grade graduates. I'm very proud of you. It's my honor today to be giving the Top Scholar Award. Not that I don't have the humble opinion that every single one of you are top scholars. We do have one individual we're going to give this award to today. Just as a little bit of background, Mrs. Thavita was a member of the first graduating class of Rumordy in 1965. She excelled as a scholar while studying here, and she returned to serve Rumordy as a teacher and then as an administrator. She is known for setting high academic standards and building a reputation of Rumordy as a school dedicated to academic excellence. Her leadership as head of school from 1979 to 1996 helped create the great school that we have today. The winner of the Mrs. Thavita Top Scholar Award is a student at our school who exemplifies diligence, intellectual curiosity, high standards, and a love of learning in all subject areas. This individual demonstrated academic excellence throughout her time at Rumordy. At times this meant seeking out teachers who to clarify information and get additional feedback. Sometimes it meant redoing an assignment to take it from good to great. And at no point did this student settle for anything less than outstanding academic effort. She has been described by her teachers as often being the brains behind visual logos and advertisements around the school, making challenging concepts accessible to all types of learners. She also demonstrated great skill in design empathy and quiet humor. For these reasons, I am honored to present this well-earned award, the Top Scholar Award, to Grace.
Today, this wonderful day is dedicated to us, the class of 2021. High school is just a step away from us now, and we're patting ourselves on the back and congratulating each other for a job well done. But are you forgetting something? Did we really manage to do this alone, or did we receive invaluable help from our friends, teachers, and parents? We've gone through all the ups and downs in elementary school, middle school, and we're about to experience it again in high school, but not just any school. Rumordy International School. Established 60 years ago and still at the top of the international school ladder, shows us the quality of the
education we are receiving. Let's start by thanking River-D for the good times and experiences that have helped us become who we are today.
The building blocks of any school are the teachers. They were the ones who patiently gave us the knowledge and the ones who handled our many different personalities. Our teachers have truly prepared us for the future, and for that, we thank them. Ms. Rao, thank you for telling us to get our acts together and for tolerating us when we were loud and noisy aliens.
I admit that science class wasn't the easiest class, but because of you, we were able to understand the information you were trying to pass on to us, and you made science class more enjoyable for many of us.
Thank you, Mr. Wood, for being stern yet helpful to all of us. Thank you, Ms. Christie, for being thoughtful and supportive of your students. Thank you, Ms. Emily, for your grudge balls and long walks outside of class to remind us of how we should behave. Thank you, Ms. Maria, for being so kind with and helpful with language arts, social studies, and your capiche. Thank you, Ms. Caroline, for trying to get our homeroom to speak every single advisory, even though we still try to avoid it.
And last but not least, thank you, Mr. Saeed, for guiding not only me, but the other students to the thinking man.
And thank you for tolerating my puns and shins. And to all our middle school teachers not mentioned here today, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your patience and your guidance.
Talking about appreciation, let's talk about friends. People who make our middle school experience unique. Friends who have helped us through good times and hard times and times of celebration. Each friend is important to all 93 of us in different ways. However, to me, every one of you guys in the audience made my middle school years some of the best years in my life so far, even if I didn't show it. We'll try to mention everyone.
Actually, we won't. Mr. Saeed wants us to finish in 4 minutes. That's way too short. Still, thanks to the lunchtime sport players who make all our lunches mean something more than just food consumption. Thank you for your participation in wonderful concerts. Thank you for Games Day. Thank you for the memories in ETK. Thank you for your knowledge and knowledgeable, and of course for supporting the Spanish Fiesta.
On a personal level, I would like to thank Nong Hai, Ink, and Kala for always being there for me.
And I would like to thank my favorite human beings of all time, Pride, Aaron, Fatman, Dia, Ink, Shin, and Tonna, for being such nice people who are as equally weird and energetic as I am. We also want to thank all of the new students who joined us this year. I'm really sorry for the names I didn't get to mention, but mentioned or not, you all are a very important part of the class of 2021.
But being able to stand here, come to the school, meet all of you guys, is because of 2 significant people. They gave all of us a chance to enter one of the top schools in the country, get the best education they could find. On behalf of every student in the class of 2021, I would like to thank all of our parents that gave us this chance to better ourselves and become who we are today. I'm sure we weren't the best kids, we made mistakes, but we tried our best to make you proud. We thank you wholeheartedly for giving us the chance to become the best versions of ourselves.
And as the best versions of ourselves, class of 2021, let's go to high school and show them how lucky they are to have us. Thank you.
We are going to move on to the moment that students enjoy every single year. Thank you, Ms. Christie, for putting this together.
This is where the chapter ends. A new one now begins. Time has come for letting go. The hardest part is when you know all of these years when we were here are ending. But I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turn. The stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. Where the water meets the land, there is shifting in the sand, like the tide that ebbs and flows. Memories will come and go. All of these years when we were here are ending, but I'll always remember we have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turn, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We say goodbye, we hold on tight to these memories that never die. We have had the time of our lives, and now the pages turned, the stories we will write. We have had the time of our lives, and I will not forget the faces left behind. It's hard to walk away from the best of days, but if it has to end, I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives. I'm glad you have been my friend in the time of our lives.
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. Ooh, ooh. things are supposed to do. Oh yeah. You can count on me, 'cause I can count on you.
Thank you for the opportunity. That was wonderful, so inspiring watching. Watching the teachers. Is this still on now? Yeah, watching the teachers with the joy that they had to give out awards to one of the students. But as they came up, I said to myself, I wouldn't want to have that job of choosing one, because when you teach the students in the classroom, I'm sure they wish they could have given an award like that of honor to every student that they had. And so we congratulate all of our students of the 8th grade. You know, you've been a good class. The teacher showed it. So many of you received an award, and all of you could have received one, there's no doubt about it. And all your kids, wonderful young ladies, young gentlemen coming up like this, you're dressed very nicely. You're prepared for life ahead of you. And you know that, it's still up there, 2021. I say, that's pretty good. That's something to aim at. As a struggle. I made it this far, maybe another 4 years, I can still make it again, I don't know. Let's aim for it, okay? You know, all you people in the class, aim for 2021 and pull me along too, okay? The high school is a struggle sometimes, but don't give up. We aim for that because it's a stepping stone. You know, a couple of days ago, we had the graduation of the high school. Real happiness of what they have accomplished, to be graduating from Romery and on for greater things. So we aim at 2021, first of all, and maybe then we have new numbers ahead of us for college or where have you. We struggle on together. And I'll be praying for you. You pray for me, okay? Yeah, let's be pals about that, shall we? I talk to you once in a while about prayer. Okay, come on now. You pray for yourself and you pray for me, and let's be a good school together for the high school. Be inspired. And you know, the principal of the high school talked about welcome. He's very happy to see you. And the principal of the middle school looking at all of you and saying, yeah, they accomplished it. It's really wonderful, a wonderful group of students. So, God bless all of you. Yeah, have a fine vacation, okay? God bless you. We'll see you when you come back for school, for high school now. God bless you.
Thank you, Father. At this point, our promotion ceremony is in conclusion. So before everybody joins us in the atrium, can everybody just take a moment just to give a huge round of applause to the class of 2021. Okay, so I want to really take the time. Gayatri talked about the moms and dads and the families and the support network that's critical for all of these students' success. So I really thank all of the parents for getting your child and preparing them for the next step. And to the students, there will be no more nagging for me of what you're drinking at milk break or lunch, no more sugar, so that's one thing that you can say, it's done, she's gone. But I will still see you, and I look forward to seeing as you become successful moving forward into the high school. So have a wonderful summer, and please, at the end of the ceremony, there is a nice lunch prepared for you in the atrium. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2021.